Hello and welcome back to Tesori Home. Today we are bringing you our next episode in our series Design Within Reach, where we tour everyday people's homes to show you that you can create a home you love within your means. Today we are touring interior designer Taylor Simon's Brooklyn apartment. You might know Taylor as the girl who coined the unexpected red theory this year. We're so excited to share her mid-century apartment with you here in New York City. Let's see what Taylor is up to.
Hi guys,
Hi,
welcome in.
Thank you. This is so nice to be in your space finally after seeing all the different little nooks on Instagram. It's so spacious and peaceful and beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so happy you guys are here.
Aww.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to show you around.
Yay, I'm excited too. Where did you find your inspiration for design and get into loving all things home?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a longer story. So back in high school, we had a house fire and nobody was home. It wasn't, it ended up as well as it could have been, but we basically had to gut and redo the entire inside of the house.
Wow.
And my mom has great taste, especially in interiors. And so it was really cool to be able to watch her renovate everything, choose all the paint colors, choose all the furnishings. And she's always been super into mid-century. Mm-hmm. And so that had a heavy influence on my taste and kind of how I put together my own spaces. I've realized now that that's been very formative because shortly after that, we moved back in, but shortly after that I went to college and so I wasn't living at home, and then I moved to New York after school. And, in New York, you kind of bounce around apartment to apartment, and so this is the first home that I felt like truly settled in and able to like put down roots and collect things over time and make it feel like truly like me and my husband. So it's been really special.
Now it seems like you have a really fun mix of vintage and new. What is your, where do you find pieces for your home? What are your favorite ways to shop?
So yeah, I would say probably 90% is vintage or secondhand or from a flea market, Facebook Marketplace, of course. I would say a lot of these pieces come from Facebook Marketplace. It's really good in New York too, so you can find a lot of really cool things.
Why don't you tell us a bit about some of those pieces and the stories behind them, things that stick out to you?
So I'll start with this credenza. This is a Craigslist find actually, and this is like kind of the first intro to mid-century that I found, and I really love it. You'll sense a theme throughout the space as I go through more items, but I like the contrast of a harder material in a softer, more organic shape. So I really love how these have the subtle curve to them.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely filled with books. So it's so heavy.
Oh my gosh.
That's where all of our books and candles and things are stored. But we've had this for a few apartments and I really love it. This coffee table is from Urban Mining. I love just the smooth marble against the chrome. And you'll notice I have a lot of mixed metals and mixed materials. For a long time, I think it was kind of faux pas to mix woods or mix metals. And so that's something that I've really tried to do here in a cohesive way. And that happens naturally when you collect items over time.
Right.
So we have the chrome legs of the coffee table, but then we have brass lamps and sconces, different colored frames, and I think that makes it feel more collected and curated to your own style. There are a lot of different pieces, some are from the 70s, some are new, some are, French from the 40s, some are Italian. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of everything.
Yeah.
But I would say the through line is kind of honestly listening to your gut and finding out what you really like. And there is a gut feeling when you find something that you're like, oh, I need that. And so just listening to that voice in your head, you're organically going to build a home that you love.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry too much about oh, is this gonna go perfectly with something that I already have? Because if you love it, you're gonna love it together.
If you want to discover your design style like Taylor, but don't know where to start, I am giving you free access to a course I created for our membership down in the description below. This course will help you to better understand your style, find your aesthetic, and learn how to achieve that look in your own home. So if that interests you, it's totally free. You can click the link down in the description below to get started. I hope it helps you out, and let's get back to touring Taylor's beautiful home. Now, what would be your advice when it comes to styling shelves?
Yes, okay, so I would say, depending on the shelf, so for this one, for example, there's a lot going on with the detail of the shelf itself, so I did keep it very minimal. A tip when styling objects is the rule of thirds, so you should try to have 3 items. This is just a simple plant. I'm actually plant sitting for my friend.
This is the plant you're sitting?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, so it came to your...
This is perfect. So she moved and she was like, can you take care of this plant? I was like, perfect, I would love to.
Aww.
But again, it's like the perfect contrast of this soft plant. I love how it looks with the iron shelf, so
yes.
It looks like I bought it, but shout out Elisa for the beautiful plant.
Love it.
And then I like to just kind of stack book. I have a coffee table book addiction, and then my record collection on the bottom, which we have a pop of unexpected red down there, which was unplanned, but you know,
I love it.
Had to.
Why don't you go into that a little bit, because
yes.
I introduced you as the unexpected red theory girl, but we need to know, like, why don't you share a bit about that and how that came to your mind and what came of it?
So I recently, or earlier this year, started making videos on social media, and it's more so just general tips and tricks about design, also certain trends I see in interior design. And so one video I made earlier this year was the unexpected red theory. And I basically said adding anything red, big or small, to a room makes it look better and makes it look more intentional. And it just like took off. It went super viral. It was featured in the New York Times. Martha Stewart posted about it. I was like, this is crazy. So it's been really fun to kind of see how that took off and got the traction that it did. I think it's something specific about the color red because it represents like both ends of the spectrum with emotion. It represents love and passion, but then it also represents anger. And so I think that like juxtaposition of emotions, that it makes people feel led to all of the traction and conversations about it, leading it to go viral. But it's been super cool to kind of see how that's taken off in the design world, because I was very new to making those videos. And so I've just kind of done more about color and general design trends since, and it's been really fun.
That's so cool, because it's true. I think a lot of people don't realize how much color has an impact on your mood, on your feelings day to day in your home, and how color can really like just make a room work or not work.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me a bit about the art in this corner?
Yes, so this is one of my favorite pieces. It's a sketch of the Brooklyn Bridge, but my mom actually found this at a thrift store in Kansas City.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy, and she gifted it to us a few Christmases ago in this beautiful frame, and we love it. And what's crazy about this is that she gifted it to us, and then a couple years later, this is pretty much the view that my husband proposed. And so we have this beautiful sketch, and then just a couple years later, that was pretty much the backdrop of it. So that makes it even more special.
So special. I love this piece of art.
Thank you. Yeah, so the thing about lofts is that they have insanely high ceilings. And so for a while, it took a long time to find the perfect piece for right here, because I wanted something that we weren't going to get tired of looking at, because it is going to be the focal point of our space. I really love brown. I love the kind of abstract vibe. It's very calming, and the large scale of it obviously really worked for this. I found this on Etsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I just found a frame for it online. You got like a custom frame, and it perfectly like brings together the rest of the room. I always say it brings together the color palette of the room with all the browns and kind of neutral tones, but I just love it. It's very calming, and every time I look at it, I see something new. So
I love
it's great. Yeah.
I think that art is a really good way to pull a space together with the different colors, and even, you know, I've seen in different homes we've toured, and in our home too, a tapestry too, like just like when even patterns, just something that really pulls a room, and like it's weird because it does like draw the colors in. It feels
it does.
So
it does. It really works.
Well, why don't you talk to us a bit about this corner? I'm in love with this chair.
Oh, thank you.
It's so neat.
This is part of our dining set. I found a set of 6 of these on Facebook Marketplace, and they were kind of in rough shape. We had to get the seats reupholstered, but now they're like new. I love the cat eye detail of them. Again, you know, when you first look at them, they look like a normal dining chair, but then you take a better look and it's like, oh, there's like a fun detail about them, and I love them. I love teak, as you can probably notice, so that was perfect to like kind of warm up the living space. This has to be my favorite vignette. So this is a postmodern table from the 80s, and I love the plaster texture. It's rough,
so cool.
And you know, it's just the perfect, like it blends into the wall, because this corner was hard to style because we have that angled wall that goes upstairs. We had a chair here. We've had a few variations of this corner, and it wasn't quite working, and I thought this was perfect because it blends in with the wall, but it still has that texture, and I can make my own little desk situation. Sometimes I'll work from here. But I love the contrast of this rough texture with the smooth lamp, again, mixing metals. And then some vintage art that I found. This is from Remix Market in Queens. They have the best art. I mean, you could go through there for days. They have really cool stuff. And I love the chrome frame that ties into the coffee table. Okay. So this is probably one of my favorite pieces in the home because my dad built this table. Oh. And he made it the perfect size. It's just layers of plywood, but we just use the heck out of it. I mean, we obviously eat here. We play a lot of Rummy Cube here. We have a lot of game nights here. So it's really special. I love when you can kind of see the wear and tear on it just from the memories that we do on it. And so it's great. I really love this piece and we'll have it forever. And then we have this darker piece. So I think it's good to kind of mix and match throughout. So it's more collected.
Yes, definitely. I love how deep and rich this is.
Yeah, this is a favorite as well. So this I found on Cherish, and this basically holds our entire kitchen. You have to get creative in New York. So this holds bowls, plates, pantry items. There's an air fryer in here. I mean, it is massive. This is like a workhorse, but it's also beautiful. This is from the 1960s. It's like a beautiful walnut. I like, again, how it ties into our little yellow mushroom friend in the living room. So kind of repeating those elements. Yeah, and I really, really love this. And then again, just some decorative items on top. This is a vintage Italian urn. Wow. And just a little reminder of perspective when you walk in. That's good. And then this piece I absolutely love. I found this, we were in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, and they had a giant antique market, and I found this vase. They didn't really have any information about it, but I just loved the cracked glass, and it looks like someone just like pushed it in on the sides. So, and I love just adding like a glass element here. More coffee table books, of course, because we're obsessed. And then this is a big iron mirror. In here, we don't have a ton of natural light, but we do have the big windows in the living room and the bedroom. So I like to have this to reflect the light from the windows, so it feels a bit bigger in here. Yeah. So yeah, this is like our entryway / dining room.
So what would be your advice for someone who doesn't really know what their style is, doesn't kind of know where to start?
Honestly, just like taking a look around, going on a walk and popping into stores and seeing what kind of emotions different stores or like, you know, any place that you walk into kind of evokes in you. If you like that emotion, take note of, you know, what's the color scheme in here? Is it the colors? Is it the scent? Is it the lighting? Kind of make note of what little pieces you can take from different places you're in day to day.
Yeah.
And it will just kind of build your own perspective.
And I have to point out, I see you have our
Oh
sconce
my
here.
gosh.
Which looks perfect in your space.
I absolutely love it. I'm not even saying this because you're standing right here. It's like my favorite thing in this apartment.
Aww.
It's so perfect for this little nook. I love the touch of brass. I love, like, it's kind of mid-century, the curve of it.
Yeah.
And I love, like, Halloween is like my favorite holiday.
Really?
And I just thought it was like the perfect kind of spooky vibe too.
Yes, yes.
And you know, I had to do red candles, but you know, you can do white, also looks great. When Halloween rolls around, I'm gonna do black. So it's just like a very versatile kind of playful thing that we have in here. And it's another element of light that I really love that adds that coziness. Candles always always help.
Are my favorite. Especially in apartments, so you don't have to like hardwire anything.
Exactly.
Like candle sconces are, so if you guys want, tazorihome.com.
Tazori Home, check it.
Oh, I love it. It makes me so happy knowing it's here.
I love it.
Every
it's
time
so perfect.
Okay, why don't we go into your bedroom?
All right. So here we are in the bedroom. This was also recently painted. This is a Pharaoh and Ball color called Skylight, which I thought was appropriate because the ceiling basically is in the sky.
Yes.
I love this dusty blue color, and it was definitely a risk for me because as you can see in the living room, there's not a ton of color. We have some pops, but in here I wanted to incorporate a little bit more color and feel more cozy. And so we went with the light blue on the walls, and then we contrasted that with the brick rug. This is from the Arvin Alano Rugs USA collection.
It. Yeah.
It's so good, and it's actually a very good price point. So if you're looking for like larger scale, good quality rugs, I would definitely check them out.
Okay, good to know.
And then this painting is, I'm gonna say favorite a lot, but this is definitely one of my favorite pieces in the apartment. My friend and artist, or my artist friend, his name is Jake Snowden. He has a studio here in Williamsburg. He's so talented. He does a lot of abstract art, so definitely check him out. Wow. But I love the color palette. It's perfect with the light blues, and we have some red tones. I really love brown, and so it just really pulled this whole room together. And this painting is called Last One on the Dance Floor, which I thought was perfect to have above your bed.
Yes.
So yeah, I really love that.
Oh, I love it.
And then I have to point out our nightstands because you know the struggle of Facebook Marketplace, and when you lose out on something, it's like such a specific type of hurt.
Oh yeah.
So I originally saw these on Facebook Marketplace, and they're on Augusta mid-century nightstands, and again, hard material, soft, like subtle curve. I absolutely love them. And I missed out on them on Facebook Marketplace, and I couldn't find them anywhere. I was like Google lensing them, could not find anything similar that I loved as much. And then one day I saw them on Cherish, and I'm pretty sure they're the same set because they were in like Philly, and the seller that was their like original Facebook one was near Philly. And so I definitely overpaid for them, but
you knew
I love them so much, and I will seriously have them forever. And then I think they perfectly tie into this mirror that was actually another Facebook Marketplace find. But this is funny because this seller was also a set designer. Different person.
What in the world?
And so this was from, I don't have any specific sets that this was on, but I love how, again, the subtle curve of this mirror perfectly goes with the nightstand. So it kind of all came together. And I really love how the wood contrasts the blue and everything. So I'm really loving how the bedroom came together after 3 years.
Okay, why don't we go upstairs? Is that where?
Yeah, let's go upstairs. Come on in to our guest bedroom slash my husband's office.
Smart.
So this room, we wanted it to feel really cozy for guests whenever they come to visit. So we kept it pretty simple just so they can like put their things wherever they need to. This is just like an oversized kind of linen blanket that I found on Etsy. And so just something simple with some, I love the like kind of under tuck, the very simplistic look. So it's very cozy for them in here. But we went with this sage green on the walls that I really love. This is called Spanish olive. But we painted the trim, the walls, the ceiling, everything. So it feels like cozy, like cocoon in here. And then this light. So we had like, you know, the infamous boob light when we moved in. And these are actually really renter friendly because this is called the tulip shade. So the circle on the ceiling is just command strip to the ceiling. And then the linen part just clicks in, it's magnetic.
Wow.
And so you don't have to actually like do any electrical work, and it just covers up any like ugly fixtures that you have and kind of creates this glow.
That's
so I really
genius.
love that. Yeah.
I love this color, and I love that you painted the ceiling too. It really does help to make it feel, I feel like that's such a good trick is ceilings.
Yeah, oh, I love, it's called color drenching.
Color
it's like
drenching.
The official term for when you paint everything.
Okay.
And I love doing it. Like this room was perfect because it's not super high like the rest of the rooms downstairs.
Yeah.
So this is perfect to kind of test it out and see how I like it. And I really, this color was perfect because we needed it. I wanted it to be cozy for guests, but also my husband works in here, so it couldn't be too dark. It's like the perfect balance of both.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, for taking us through your beautiful apartment. It's been so fun hearing where all the things are found and more about you, so thank you.
Thank you, this has been so fun.
I would love to know, what do you hope people feel when they come into your space?
Yeah, so when someone comes into my space, I want them to feel at home automatically. I want them to feel cozy, that they can just like plop on the sofa and hang out or sit down and have a meal. So it's that balance of feeling cozy, but also kind of that elevated style. You know, I am an interior designer, so I do like the design aspect, but I want to play with that balance of like it looking sophisticated, but also cozy. I never want it to feel stuffy in here that you can't lay down or scratch a surface. Nothing is precious. So I just really want everyone to feel comfy and welcome and warm when they walk in.
Yeah. So you are an interior designer. How did you get into that? Is this something you've done for a while, what you've always done, or like, is this a new?
It's fairly new. So I started interiors about 3-ish years ago. It was like kind of mid-COVID, and I've always had my interest in interior design, just growing up around it. And finally I was like, if not now, when? And so I started with my friend's apartment in Chelsea in Manhattan.
Wow.
And she let me basically do whatever I wanted with her help, of course.
Yeah.
But, and that was kind of what launched everything. And so we finished her studio, it turned out beautifully. And then, you know, her friend heard about it, and it kind of was word of mouth at first. And then I was posting on social media, and I started the videos, and it's just kind of gone from there. And it's been really cool to see how like social media has had such an impact on the business.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, you guys need to follow Taylor on Instagram at Interiors, because she gives just the best like practical tips. You go and dive into like all these trends and also different ways to just make your space like feel alive and beautiful. And so you guys have to follow her on Instagram. Also, I know you're based in the city, but you do online consultations as well.
I do online consultations. I've done virtual design, in person obviously, so any way I can help, I'm happy to.
And where can they find you?
So I have a website, interiors.com, and then on both Instagram and TikTok it's also at Interiors.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you so much.
This has been so fun. So if you want to catch the extended cut of Taylor's home tour, make sure to check out the link below. Inside of our membership, we have all of our extended cuts plus much more exclusive content. And also, if you want to shop any pieces in Taylor's home, we'll put a link down below as well. A lot of it is vintage, but if there's anything that catches your eye that is new, we'll put that down there for you guys to shop. All right.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
All righty.
Yay.